A new year, but not a new beginning for Pakistan as they continue their losing ways in any format that you look at it. After being hammered 3-0 in the Test series against Australia, they have not started their first T20I against New Zealand on a high as they have lost the first match at Eden Park, Auckland. Yes, the match between New Zealand and Pakistan has ended just shortly, and it is not good news if you're a Pakistan fan because they have lost by 46 runs and have gone 1-0 down in the 5-match T20I series. Now, remember, this 5 matches form a very important part for Pakistan in their preparation for the World T20. Remember, even after this, there'll be some series until March, April, wherein they can play at least a couple of T20I series. But as far as their Trans-Tasman tour is concerned, their situation continues to go from bad to worse. New Zealand made 226, but one major incident that stood out from that entire innings was Babar Azam dropping Kane Williamson on 11, and because of that, Williamson went on to make a brilliant 50. He was aided by Daryl Mitchell, who hit 4 sixes and also ensured that he also hit an aggressive 50. And if you look at it, some good hits from Mark Chapman, 26 of 11 balls, and in the other instances ensured that New Zealand went to 226 for 8. The record that New Zealand have created in this instance is that this is their highest ever T20I score against Pakistan, beating the previous highest of 196, which I think was made at the Cake Tin in Wellington about 5 years ago. But if you look at what is the situation, then Pakistan made a good start. And if you look at what was their situation at this point, Saim Ayub, Mohammad Rizwan and all, they started the chase pretty well. But afterwards, when the openers fell, that was when Pakistan was dented back. Babar Azam hit 57 or 35. He tried to make up for that loss that he had done with the fielding rather, where he dropped Kane Williamson. 57 or 35 at a strike rate, let me tell you, 162.86. Rizwan and Babar, they have often been accused of batting rather conservatively in the past. But here, they totally dished out all that and they said 178.5, 162.8 in a chase of 227 is actually not bad. But then afterwards, Rizwan fell. Saim Ayub, he got a great start, 27 of 8 balls. But Pakistan kept losing wickets, 24 of 17 from Iftikhar Ahmed. And then the rest of the tail, the lower order, was polished off by Tim Southee, who ended with 4 for 25. Adam Milne with 2 for 50 and Ben Sears with 2 for 42. Now remember, Tim Southee, if you look at it, he's not been a regular in the T20I format. Actually, in white ball cricket, he's been one of the few individuals who's been committed to New Zealand cricket. But then now, he's not been featuring that often in T20Is, and that is why this haul of 4 for 25 should put him in good stead for the T20 World Cup that is going to happen in June. Tim Southee has been one of the constants in the New Zealand cricket team, and that is why, if you look at it, not getting picked in the IPL might be a blessing in disguise for Tim Southee. So that's why it's a big situation. So 4 for 25, Pakistan have lost by 46 runs in their chase of 227. And because of that, the series now will really depend on how Pakistan bounces back. Remember, it's not been a good series down under. If you look at Australia and New Zealand, at least at this time for Pakistan, losing all the 3 tests in Australia, then now this first T20I, 2024 has not begun well for Pakistan. So fielding continues to be a problem for them. Babar Azam's dropped catch of Kane Williamson, that's now gone viral on social media. He will not want to look back on that on a very good basis, and that's why Pakistan's 2024 has started off on a woeful note. Loss in Sydney, now loss in Auckland. They will now be hoping that they can bounce back in the remainder of the series. But remember, if there is one team that can bounce back after a loss in the opening 1 or 2 games in New Zealand, it is actually Pakistan. It happened in 2016, wherein they lost the test matches quite comprehensively. They lost the first T20. After that, they decided to stage a comeback, and they mounted a very good comeback against New Zealand. So, if you look at what is the situation, then 57 from Babar Azam, 25 from Mohammad Rizwan, 27 from Saim Ayub, 24 from Iftikhar, but they were never ever in the chase because of what has happened. So New Zealand have come out victors by 46 thanks to Kane Williamson's magnificent 50, then 61 from Daryl Mitchell. He was the one who ensured that they gave him a good start, and Finn Allen, 35 or 15. Let us just say it is going to be a really good start from Finn Allen in that sense. Now, I'm getting a couple of comments in that why Saudi didn't get an IPL contract. Akash Bharat was saying it's really surprising why Saudi didn't get an IPL contract. But I think the ship has sailed on Tim Saudi when it comes to IPL. I mean, Kolkata Knight Riders tried him in different positions. He didn't succeed in that, and that is why he has been shown the door when it comes to the IPL. Sarat Chandra is like saying Indore is worse. What is Eden Park? Why are they still playing there? Sarat Chandra, I mean, if you're comparing Indore to Eden Park, it is a rather flawed argument because remember, Indore's pitch is a problem. They tampered with the pitch in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, and that is why Indore lost its traditional character. If you had not tampered with the pitch there, then Indore would have been a brilliant batting strip. But they did that. Even in the white ball format, if you look at it, they have actually managed to put up a good pitch in Indore. Eden Park, Auckland, remember, by the way, these are the last few games that Eden Park might host in the near future because remember, there is a call that New Zealand cricket might want to shift its cricketing venue in Auckland, Eden Park to some other venue in Auckland because their residential complexes, this is a problem. And if you're talking about dimensions, Sarachandra Yalamarthi, remember, Auckland is not a cricket ground. It's a rugby ground. So the stands are moved to ensure that you get some form of a cricket ground kind of a situation, but it's traditionally used for rugby only. The same is true with the Cape Town in the Basin Reserve, which was Athletic Park. Athletic Park, the Cape Town, is now a rugby ground. The only true cricketing ground that you've got in Wellington is the Basin Reserve. Auckland doesn't have a cricket ground of its own. Eden Park has been the traditional home for New Zealand, but it is primarily a rugby ground. So that's the situation that we have got there. So Pakistan starting their New Zealand campaign on a disastrous note, losing by 46 runs. If they want to bounce back, it is going to be a big, big situation indeed for them. Ashish, the only one proper ground in New Zealand, and that is Mount Maunganui. No. There's also the University Oval in Dunedin. That is a proper cricket ground. If you have to look at now, Hagley Oval in Christchurch, that is also a proper cricket ground. But apart from that, yes, Hamilton Seddon Park can also be a proper cricket ground. Napier isn't a cricket ground. McLean Park, it's a rugby ground as well because you can move the stands there. So that's why New Zealand prime sport is rugby. Cricket is just a secondary or a third sport in that sense. So yes, Akash Bharat Singh, before I sign off, do you think Saim and Fakar should open? Yes, I think Fakar Zaman and Saim Ayub really showed tremendous intent, and that is why he can be an interesting prospect. Fakar Zaman, his problem with inconsistency, that's a big, big issue. But I think if he can open, I think it will boost Pakistan's batting in a big, big way. So that's about it from here. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.